What's happening, everybody? It is a Sunday afternoon edition of Selling Past Your Expiration Date, being 50 over 50, starting JPeg. I'm Jay.
I'm Peg. Hi, everybody, and Happy New Year for those of you I have not seen or talked to, so hope it's starting off great for you.
Now, normally, we have our names and a nice little artwork that Nadine did for us, but as of today, YouTube took that feature away. So we can't put in the lower third. We can't do graphics, nothing. I can still do screen share, so it's going to look a little low rent compared to what it normally is. We're a little more, a little nicer. And I'm going to get something right out of the way in case I lose focus on this show. You're like, what the hell is Jay doing? When we scheduled this show, I totally forgot the Packers were on at this time. So right here, I have my iPad. It's got the Packers game on it. So I'll give you 85% of my attention today, Ma.
That's okay. That's all right, because I've got my TV going with the red carpet for the Golden Globes.
Go, Pack, go.
I'm going to kind of start off by asking everybody if out there that might be watching, do they know what special day this is for your mother?
Well, they're not your mother.
Well, me, your mother.
Why is this a special day for my mom? It has nothing to do with
this was
nothing to do with the Packers.
No. This was the day the king was born, Mr. Elvis Presley, for those who don't
King Charles?
Yeah, King Charles, haha. Yeah, so he would have been 82 today. And, of course, when you look back at it, that's 40 years since his death because he died when he was only 42. So he's one of our younger greats that we lost, which I can still remember exactly where I was when I heard the news. My brother called me almost immediately, and we sat and we cried there together, just like we did probably when you lost Prince and Michael Jackson. I mean, it's hard when you lose the greats. But I was just kind of, I got curious, and I said, I got to look up a couple of stats just to see how many gold records he had. He had 90 gold records, 53 platinum, and 25 multi-platinum records. So they still say he's behind the Beatles in some categories, but still leads the pack in others. So, even after all this time, he still continues to sell. And in honor of the king, who knows what this shirt is from? Does anybody out there watching us know where this shirt might have been seen at one time? And of course, I have my inside here. This will give you a hint. How's that?
Yeah, I see your little pin there. You are all decked out.
I even got my Elvis earrings. The king. Hey, I was lucky enough. I was lucky enough in my lifetime to see him twice. The first time was in the 50s, and all he wore was a pair of black pants and a red shirt. I will never forget that. And my tickets cost what? What are they saying in the chat?
Everyone got it. Blue Hawaii. Blue Hawaii. How much did tickets cost?
$10 to see Elvis.
$10.
Yeah. $10.
Was it an afternoon show or an evening show?
No, it was an evening show. And the second time around when I saw him, the tickets were up to a whole $35 at that point. And then he was starting to wear the jumpsuits, So, yeah, so I was very fortunate that I got to see him a couple of times. Yeah. And I've been through Graceland 3 times, which is a must. If any of you that are ever, in the area or make a special trip, it's really something to see. I mean, you will be flabbergasted when you walk down his Hall of Gold Records in the museum and everything. So it's quite something, and part of our history, that's for sure.
For you youngins out there who might not know, the reason I asked Mom about the concert was back in the day, bands would play 2 shows a day, like an afternoon concert and a night concert, so they could make some money, and the tickets would be cheap. And so you might go see the Rolling Stones at like 2 p.m.
I know. Yeah. My first concert that I took my siblings to, we were in Atlantic City when the Steel Pier was still in operation, and we went and saw Conway Twitty, and that was $2 a head to get into that.
$2.
$2. So, in the honor of the king, I'm stealing a little of your thunder. I do have my
nice
my little mug today.
That mug is retired and sells for about $80.
Oh well, someday when I die, do you have the king?
Yeah, of course. Come on now. I totally forgot though. I would have had it ready. I've got here's what I'm drinking out of, my Girl Boss cup.
I like it. Very good.
All right, so let's talk about why we're here, because
yes.
The topic of this show, Mom and I show, always comes about by just something that happens, something that Mom does, or something a viewer does, or friend, or a surfer from the thrifting board. And this week it was Mom's turn to pick the topic by accident. She jumped the gun on canceling an order, which I've just found out there's more to the story now. Yep. So let's bring up the transaction first, because I got it all here ready to go somewhere. Okay. Hang on a second. No, there it is. Okay, so let me bring up the transaction real quick here. And there we go. I got to take that out.
Yeah, this story got more and more involved.
All right. Oh, I got to turn the camera on. There we go. Okay, so this is it, right, Ma?
Is that the Christmas tree? What am I looking at? Let me see. Yeah, that's it. That is it. Okay.
So here's the item. Let me scroll it down a little bit so you can see the title.
Okay.
Here is the item Mom sold. White ceramic Christmas tree. Blah blah blah. 50 light bulbs.
Yeah, so basically, what
had it on sale for half off, so sold it for $25.
Right. So I go down to retrieve it. It was in my basement. I do store some things in my basement. So I went down and retrieved it, and it came in the original box as well. If you scroll through those pictures, it'll show it.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm picking up the box, I hear rattling. Oh, no. So I come upstairs, I open it and pull it out, and there it is, broken on the lower edge of the tree. Not the base, but the lower edge of the tree. And I'm going, geez. So I figured, well, my customer's not going to want a broken item. So I quickly went in and canceled the order and sent her a note saying, I am so sorry. Says, upon retrieving the item, it is broken. So I've gone ahead and canceled the order and my, deepest apologies and all of that kind of thing.
Now, before we go on,
yep.
If you're new to watching us, if you're new to my Facebook group, the Thrifting Board, the one thing I always teach and preach is take care of your customer. And so this is not going to be a story of don't take care of your customer. Just don't take care of them so quick.
Right.
Because wait for it.
Yep. Because had I waited for it, I probably wouldn't have gotten into such a more of a mess than what it already is.
So you went and canceled it right away.
I did, without even just sending her the note. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It is broken. Do you want me to cancel, or what do you want to do?
But you had already canceled it, right?
Yep, I had already canceled it and sent her a note right away indicating I canceled because the item was broken. So from that point, she says to me, well, how badly broken is it? So I said, well, let me send you some pictures, which I did. And she says, well, and there was two more pieces. Dad had glued back in one piece, and there were still two more pieces to go in, but we couldn't figure out how the heck they went in because a bunch of tiny shattered pieces, had also occurred. So we could not figure it out. And I showed them, and I even told her that, in my message, I said, this is, I said, we did glue in one piece. We can't figure out how the other piece works. So, what would you like to do? And she says, well, I'm willing to take a shot of taking it. And she said, and I said, okay. I said, well, how can we, rectify this? Because I've already canceled the order.
So Mom's already got the defect. She's already canceled the order.
Yeah.
And then here's from the customer.
Yeah. And she said she wants to take it. Of course, I said, well, look, I said, I'm not going to charge you for it because it's broken. I says, but let me, charge you for some shipping and we'll send it out to you. And so we did. So we got that all handled, and she gets the item. And when she got it, and your dad packs, Dad's a good packer. I mean, he goes beyond, I think. In fact, I even say to him, you're doing too much. But when she got it, because it was already partially had that crack in it, from being broken, when she got it, it was shattered. I mean, it was just.
All right, so
yeah. So now I'm in the process. She wants to know if I can make a claim, but because the order was canceled, I don't think I can make a claim, with the post office. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet.
Yeah, you still can. You just you can. Yeah, you can still good because you still shipped in priority mail. So that comes with automatic $50 insurance.
Right. But when I go to show an invoice, it shows my order was canceled.
Yeah, but you can still do a screenshot. Look.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right here. Just do a screenshot of that. Sold for $24.99. Boom, done.
Oh, okay. Easy. All right. Oh, okay. All right, great.
All right. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
Now, if it was turned to dust, then of course there's no chance. but maybe, you know, a break, a chip, a tear that you missed. Wait for the customer, because and we're gonna show you how to do that in case you don't know how to contact your customer. And obviously you can't wait forever, so there is a point. But Mom did it so quick. She goes, I cancel it, now what? And I was like, wait a minute, you should have called me before.
Yeah, I
pulled the trigger, now what? Well, you can't put the bullet back in, so.
I was so distraught when I saw it was broken. You know, I figured, well, she's not going to want something broken, but she did. And then it's shattered anyway, so a lost cause all the way around.
All right, so for those of you who are watching right now, what is that, Ma?
Oh, someone is messaging me.
Apparently. Don't they know you're on doing a show?
No, not everybody knows I do a show.
All right, so, you know, of course, the first place, number one place you would start to contact your customer is right through the transaction the two of you have. Right. Meaning, when you go to your solds and the drop down to the left, one of the things is contact customer. Easy peasy. Now, unfortunately, not everyone pays attention to their eBay messages. So give it some time. And I mean, sometime, don't give it, 5 minutes like, oh, they're not paying attention. Right. Not everyone's on the computer all day long, like most of us are.
Right. I have found that out. I mean, that's something you just have to wait for because, if they're working or, just out and about, sometimes they just don't get to it right away.
Now, the second thing you should do if you don't hear from them through eBay messages is email them. And I can't tell you how often, Ma, I hear people go, well, where's their email?
Oh, yeah.
You get every customer's email in the PayPal transaction that they paid. So obviously I blanked out part of this, but here's one I got for $41.99. And the first line says you've received $41.99 from, and it gives you the email right there. But I cannot, I'm blown away. The amount of people go, where do I find the email?
I know.
Yeah, get it. And plus, you also can find it in the eBay transaction. But the quickest place would be just look up your email you just got from the sale.
Right, because it's right there. You can't miss it.
And then before we go on, latest Grace said, do you recommend sending all fragile items priority for the insurance, even if it's small? Nope. I pack well. It has no the fragility fragile of the item has no bearing on how I ship it. If it's a fragile item under a pound, it's still going first class.
Yeah.
Now, if it's $1,000 4-ounce item, then yeah, maybe. But usually. Right. Yeah, but over a pound's priority. So a lot of how often do you sell a real expensive fragile thing under a pound? Not too often.
Not too much.
So that's the easiest way then to find the email. Is just go to the email you got from PayPal. All right. So then this next way now. Okay, so we've tried eBay messages, and they're like, whatever, I'm ignoring you. We've tried just straight up email. And when you do email them, in the title, I would put what the item is and the item number. And then obviously in the message say, hey, Sue, you bought this tree for me. It's broke. I'd like to talk to you about our options. Of course, I can cancel it. But if you want it as an art project, we can do that too. So make sure you go over it. Now, the third way is to get your customer's phone number and call them. Yeah, do you know how to do that, Mother?
Yes, I do.
All right. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's real easy. So from any eBay screen over here on the right side, you will see advanced. Okay. And when you click on advanced, one of the options is find contact information down here on the left. And then once you click on that, you enter in the ID, you enter in the eBay user's name, and then you enter in the transaction number the two of you have transacted together over, so the item you sold. And once you click search, it will then email you from eBay your buyer's contact info. It'll also let the buyer know that someone has requested their info. And that will give you the buyer's name and phone number, and I think the city they live in. I haven't had to do one in a while. But so there's the 3 ways, and in order you should do it. eBay messages, straight up email, call. Now, in this day and age, 50% of the people won't even answer because they're like, who the hell's calling me from Vegas? I don't know nobody in Vegas. Right, but some will answer. And of course, if you get voicemail, leave a message because some will call back. And it's in their best interest. You're trying to solve an issue. Other times I went to send a pair of jeans and I had mislabeled the size, but it was only one size difference. So maybe they still want it, so just trying to figure things out, or maybe their address isn't correct and you're trying to get a hold of them. That's another way to get to them on the quicker side.
Jason, can you request their phone number via messages?
Well, you could, but if they're ignoring their messages, that's not going to do you any good.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm just saying in general, if you were
right, but eBay, because you guys have transacted, eBay will automatically send it to you once you've requested it.
Gotcha.
So that is the 3-step process and the order you should go in. So I think that's self-explanatory and pretty easy. So if you got any questions about that, I'll check the chat. If not, I had oddly, it's like the universe was like, here, Jay and Peg, here's what the show should be. The day she canceled it, I had 2 orders I had to cancel, which is very odd for me. And both my cancellations were due to 2 different assistants screwing me.
Oh, bummer.
So yeah, I'll show you the first one. And I was actually able to rescue one of the problems. So here is a macrame Coors beer can hat that I sold while I was in Hawaii. So my assistant shipped it out. Here's the only problem. She didn't ship out this Coors hat. Oh, no. I'm saying this backwards, I think. Sorry. Hang on a minute. Yep. Okay. I'm sorry. I sold this Coors hat while I was in Hawaii. But instead of shipping out this hat, she shipped out this one.
Yep.
She saw it was Coors, but missed the different color setup. So when someone came and bought this one this week, it took me a little detective work, but I realized that the wrong one had been sent out in December. So I contacted the buyer before I canceled, Before I canceled.
I know.
I contacted the buyer and said, I told her exactly what happened. Here's what happened. I have an assistant who helps me out with shipping. Someone else bought a Coors hat. Now, here's what's odd. A month ago, someone got the wrong hat and never said a word.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
But I said, look, I still got this other Coors hat. I sent her pictures. And I said, between you and me, the one that you bought, the one that I still have is actually a better looking hat than the one you bought. Same beer, but I think it's a better looking hat. And she said, oh, thanks. Cool. I'll take it. So there. I had no cancellation. I had no defect.
You lucky. You lucked out.
Easy peasy. Now, that was current assistant. Previous assistant on the same day, apparently it was, whoops, where am I going? Apparently it was beer can macrame day because I sold this ad too on that day. Couldn't find it. Looking around. And it took me a little bit more detective work, but somehow she accidentally wrote this one up twice.
Oh, one of those.
And I am shocked that, I think it's sold right away. So, eBay usually catches your duplicates, but the first one sold so quick and the second one was just hanging out there. So when it sold, I couldn't find it. I contacted the customer. I said, hey, I have these other beer hats and a couple soda hats. If you're interested, I'll sell them to you. I'll give you like half back. If not, I'll cancel it. It's my bad. And he said, thank you very much for contacting me. Let me know what's happening. Just please go ahead and cancel, which I did, of course.
Now, when we have to cancel an order, how bad do we get dinged for that?
Don't say the word ding. We don't like that word.
All right. What do you want me to say?
Defect. You got to keep your defect under 0.5%, your percentage.
Okay.
So we all make a mistake or two from time to time, unless you're only selling 2 items a month. 1 or 2 mistakes here or there really isn't going to affect anything. Okay. That's why when people get in defect trouble or shipping issues, I'm like I said, unless you're only selling 2 things a month, if you're selling 50, 100, 200, 300 things a month, 1 or 2 items, really the percentage ain't going to matter.
Okay.
But if you're all suddenly getting in trouble with eBay and they're suspending you, you are not just having one issue. You're having multiple issues.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So see if there are any questions.
Yeah. Anybody?
Penny said, how did you know where you sent them another item? I didn't, Penny. Customer and I agreed on it. She was cool. I was cool. So, of course, could that bite me in the butt? I suppose she could file an items not as described. But then again, I also have the correspondence through eBay that said, my bad, I don't got this hat. I got this hat. And she said, sure, with pictures. So I think if I had to fight it, which I highly doubt, because our correspondence was very nice and cordial, and she thanked me for letting her know and no problem. And she's actually like, yeah, that hat is actually a better hat. So the likelihood of her coming back and being all like, this is not what I ordered, pretty slim. But I'm not concerned. I took care of my customer. I would have happily canceled it. It was my bad. My bad by proxy. It was my assistant's bad. But and we had a good talk about paying attention to the products being shipped out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, crochet. I keep saying macrame. I was corrected. I'm sorry. Crochet. And yeah, those hats sell pretty well. You know, I get them from time to time, and they sell anywhere from $20 to $40, depending on. Now, I do have some soda pop ones, and those don't sell. Nobody cares about root beer. They just want beer. So skip the soda ones.
All right. Does that help? I hope out there, folks.
I hope. Any other questions on canceling? Just take a breath. And people get, I see it in the group all the time. People get all worked up. They get all freaked out. And, you know, it's a fact of life that any business, big or small, is going to have to cancel an order or not be able to fulfill it. I bought things from major companies that they ran out of. If you can try and buy the new Apple Bluetooth earbuds right now, they're 6 weeks behind in their orders.
Wow.
And it came out 4 months late. So major companies have issues, just like small sellers misplaced, mislabeled, you know, it happens. So take a deep breath, even if you got to walk away for a minute. And if you can't figure out the exact way to do it, the angle you got to take or whatever, and I don't mean an angle like try and end run around it, but if you can't figure out exactly what to do, just come to the thrifting board and say, hey,
right.
And no motion. Take that breath. No motion. Just say, here's the deal. I sold this hat. I don't have it no more, but I do have this hat. What should I do?
I know. I just jumped the gun. I was so upset that it was broken. And I just said, okay, I'm going to have to do a refund because nobody wants something broken. Well, little did I know she still wanted to give it a try. So, yep. Live and learn, as we say.
Absolutely.
Yep, for sure. Any score in your Packers game yet?
It is 3-0, not the Packers, unfortunately.
Oh, boo. Hey.
All right. So let's, unless there's any more questions about that, let's get into our one and only segment, which I forgot to prep the artwork. The whole lower third not working threw me off today.
I know. Bummer.
Yeah. I mean, not even it's not working. It's not there.
I know. We totally lost it. So I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, so if you've ever done one of these Google Hangouts or YouTube show, you know what we're talking about. The feature has just disappeared.
Yeah, totally. Because as I joined Jason, I started to look for it, and I said, Jason, it's not here.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, oh, come on, Mom, pay attention.
I know. No, Mom doesn't know what the hell she's doing after all this time.
All right. So, all right, cool. So no more question on that. So we then transition into pretty much our one and only segment on the show, Mama's Boy, where I share an older picture of myself because if nothing else, I've always been and always will be a mama's boy.
Yeah, I love it.
And so usually I've been showing you guys kid stuff. I went a little older, but those of you who have only known me maybe in the last 10, 15 years, you should get a kick out of this one.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So speaking of when we worked for Varsity Spirit Fashions.
Yeah, there it is. I see it. I recognize the people.
Yeah, here's me with blonde hair and just a little scratch of a goatee.
Yep. That went back when he was sizing cheerleaders. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at those guys.
So yeah, there was my receding blonde hair, and that was mid-20s. I was already losing it then.
Yep, back then. That's a cool picture, Jason. I don't even remember that one, honey. My goodness.
So from that to this.
Hey, how was your appointment when you got all that hair shaved off? Did you like it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because he had a lot of hair. I hadn't seen that much hair on your head in a long time.
Yeah, recognize you. Yeah, if I would have just thrown that picture up randomly and not said a word, I don't know. Some people might not have noticed it was me.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
So that was I had blonde hair, white hair, orange hair, blue hair, purple hair.
I remember the blue. Oh boy.
And now
Yeah, that's why, because of all those colors.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works, Ma. But okay.
No, it isn't, because I've been every color under the sun except black. So, you know what, Mommy, I'll have to dig out one of my pictures with my silver blonde hair. I think they might get a kick out of seeing one of those.
Yeah, oh, definitely. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll take one out for next time. That's for sure. Also, when Jason's birthday was, what, here about a week or so ago, and I had posted a bunch of pictures on Facebook, kind of reminiscing, going down memory lane with him, and a lot of nice feedback, because so many of my friends now are people, of course, from the thrifting board, and I think they really enjoyed seeing all your pics, Jace.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. All right, let's get to your scores. We haven't, our show's been off for a couple of weeks because we did the combo show with Nadine for Christmas,
Yeah.
but our just regular show has been on for a while now. So let's get to your scores.
I'm going to preface first before we begin.
Okay.
That's okay. I decided to do a 50% off sale. I just needed a clean house. I didn't put everything on sale, but a good majority of my store I did put on sale.
I'm so proud. My mom's doing sales all by herself.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I just sat there and went through everything, and I won't give you the bottom line yet. We'll go through my scores first, and then we'll go back to the sale part before we get into my hauls. This I had talked about expressly yours on our haul show about a week ago, and I had that one last piece to sell. Jace, you remember, it was the spoon.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this is the platter that I sold, and this one is not one of the earlier ones. This was a later one, and that's why it hung around for such a long time, because if I recall, it doesn't even have the date on this one, does it, Jace? I don't think on the back of that plate.
Well, it says 2003. Oh, on the back.
On the back, yeah.
Yeah, 2003.
Oh, it does. It does. Yes, you see, it's stamped. The early ones were written just like the other writings. So this was an older piece, newer piece, I should say. So it didn't sell as fast as I thought it would. And when I got the offer of 75, I jumped on it because it'd been in the store for over a year. So I felt comfortable with that. So, and still, don't be on the lookout, you guys, for Expressly Yours. It sells very well.
Yeah, there's a brand I've never bought, so I will definitely be on the lookout.
Yeah. Mark that one down, because it is definitely big bucks. And I sold a tiki mug. How about that? I forgot I even had this, Jay.
So wait, you forgot you had it and then listed it, or you sold it and went, "Oh, I have this"?
No. It was up in the loft area where we take our pictures and store all my merchandise. And I saw this box, just a plain cardboard box. And I said, that looks like a tiki mug box. And I opened it up and I said, oh, I was supposed to list this, because I had bought it at one of the tiki functions I went to a long time ago. And I paid $20 for it, and I had it up for the $54.95 and took the offer of $48.50. So I was happy with that.
Nice.
And I do have one in my collection. So.
Deadhead rum.
Yeah, it's a good one. And remember, Jason, not too long ago, I sold those 4 plastic ones.
Yeah.
Because those they gave us for free, So
yep.
Yeah, and they were trying to move their merchandise the day we were there, just cleaning a house. So I was glad. I know I've talked a lot about buyers carolers, and probably will continue to help anyone that needs help. I am slowly, getting rid of my collection. I have been listing them like crazy, and I've been selling them like crazy. I think it's because of the age of some of my carolers, because they are older, because I started back in the 80s, and a lot of them are in the 90s and early 2000. And I wanted to show you a few different ones, just so you're aware of, what's out there. This happens to be a Williamsburg lady who was known as the wig maker. And I got the offer of $60. I am thrilled to be getting these kind of prices. I really thought I was going to be getting more around the $20, $25 price range for these carolers. But as I started to do my research, they were bringing better money than I thought. Remember, Jason, when you were sold ones for my friend Karen, and they weren't bringing in that large amount of money. Some of them were, but on the whole, they were mostly $20 to $25. So I've been really pleased with what I've been selling. I've been getting some nice money, for the buyers carolers. So that's the one. And also, I had mentioned, be on the lookout for accessory pieces. This is a Williamsburg crescent, which is the long thing that you'll see in Williamsburg that has the fire. It's kind of like the electric heaters that we have today for your patios. Well, this is what they were back in the day. The the little pieces of wood are in there. And I got my asking price immediately. I guess maybe I sold this one a little too cheap because it went real quick. So again, accessory pieces, always look for them. They are stamped as well. So, you should be able to tell if they're a buyer's carolers piece or not. And the next gal, they did a lot of snowmen and snow women. And this little guy, they gave me an offer of 18. These are things that if I was going to be putting them in a garage sale, if I got $2 for them, I would be lucky. So, it's a nice format to have this, our platform on eBay to be able to get a much better price for items that I've collected for such a long time.
So two things from the chat.
Yeah.
2 things from the chat. Mary said, Peg, is there a good resource to see the older ones? And my question would be eBay for the most part.
Yes, pretty much for the most part. If you type in, buyer's carolers, buyer's choice carolers, and put in a year, then they should pop up with the carolers that are available here. A lot of the 90 ones are bringing the better money for me. I don't think I'm going to part with my ones from the 80s because those are worth really a lot of money. So I'm going to hold on to those for quite a while. But the 90s still bring some very nice money, and especially if they're a specific type of character, not just a shopper. The shoppers will be around a $20, $25 mark. Just an average, person, maybe that's carrying a bag or something. But the ones that are specifically like the wig maker, and they have the travelers and the peddlers and, specific people that do things, they sell much better.
Then Heather said, used but not abused. Love it. And then I don't understand this question, so I'm going to pop you up here. So Tracy said, Peg, what are you doing with the Lux bars of soap behind you?
That's for my haul. You have to wait.
Oh, I see them now. I'm like, what's she talking about? Now I see them. All right, back to the last of your scores. Okay. So this Polaroid.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is crazy. Remember, I showed those on the haul that we did, the 3 of us. And lo and behold, that Polaroid and the next one, the same buyer offered me 20 and 21, Jason? Yeah, 42. And the 2 Polaroids, we had paid $2 each for those. For a $4 investment, I sold them both to the same fella for $41. So that was nice.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, they went that quick. I was really pleased, really pleased. Oh, getting back to buyers, I forgot about this. Also, be on the lookout for the children. I got $70 for the 3 kids. I was real pleased with that because, like I said, I figured the children would sell between $15 and $20. So getting $70 out of my 75 offer, very pleased. And as you can see, they each are holding different things. The one's got the little rag doll, one has the kite, and the other has the big, what do they call those things? I forgot the name of them. Spinning wheel? No, it's not spinning wheel. Oh,
yeah, a little wheel, and you run after it, and
you push it with a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of it. So, again, and those Williamsburg pieces do sell well. So, and it's fun.
Here's a tip for your photographer.
Okay.
You're selling 3 vintage collectibles. You get 12 pictures. You guys used 4.
Yeah, I probably should have shown each one individually, huh?
You got it. Ding, ding, ding.
Yep. I will get on my photographer's case.
So back it up to the questions. Peg, do you know anything about, oops, buyer's choice mugs?
Yes, they don't sell well at all. I had a set of 4 forever and finally practically gave them away. Someone made me an offer and I finally sold them. So those did not do well for me.
So people want to know if you tested the cameras.
We did not. We did not.
Did you mention that they were untested in the listing?
I can't remember.
Should we go back and check? Put you on the spot here, Ma. Did you?
Well, no, the one still had film in it. And I mentioned that in the in my thing. In good condition. No, didn't say it in that one.
Yeah. Anything that's electronic that you cannot test, I would highly recommend writing untested.
Untested. Okay, I will keep that for future use.
I put that right in the condition condition too.
Okay. Untested. Got that.
And then your last score, we're going to drop out of the buyer's carolers and go to.
Yeah, this was a nice sale. We had when we bought this. Where's my notes? We paid $5 for this.
Woo!
This is your dad, because Daddy he's just so good at finding oddball things, as you know. And we got an offer of $80, and your dad said, "Jump on that sucker." I said, "Okay, I will." But yeah, that for a $5 investment, that was a nice return. And I'll tell you something, these vintage pieces, and when you can find them in the box, it's always a plus. So yeah, we did really good on that. Okay, now my last item, don't show it yet because we're going to kind of move into the haul.
Oh, I didn't bring it up. All right, so.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
I'll bring it up while you're showing something.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with my haul. Was that all right then?
Yeah.
I will show.
Here's Mom's haul. There you go.
Okay, everybody. It's been frigid here in Ohio, along with a lot of other states. And Dad and I decided to go out thrifting. When would we go? We've gone out 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And when we left the house on Friday morning, it was 3 degrees here. So talk about a thrifter with a mission. We wanted to go to, I'm on the yardsales.net website that sends me messages when there's no sales in my area. So there was this ad for an antique shop going out of business that I had never been to. I said, no, I know I've not been to that one. So off we go in this nice warm day of 3 degrees. And we go, and it's so crowded you can barely walk in the shop. You know what I mean? It's one of those that there's just stuff everywhere. And we're looking, and I didn't really see a whole lot. But then we went down the basement, and when we went down the basement, we came across an ashtray. Now, Dad and I have sold ashtrays before, and they have sold very well for me. Anytime you're dealing with any kind of a ship or a freighter, especially on the Great Lakes, they do really well. This was also had some writing on the back, and this is the LL Shenango. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And it was, I see I got my little note here that we paid $4.75 for this ashtray. And did you happen to find the sale, Chase? Yeah. Okay. All right. So the sale is up there, and we sold it today. I haven't even wrapped it yet because I didn't want to show you guys, so I'll wrap it tonight. But we sold it for $39.99 out of a $4.75 investment. So I highly recommend that you be on the lookout for any type of ships, freighters. We just have done extremely well with these, Jason. And I'm getting a lot of. Here's another one. Same store, same price, $4.75. I'm gonna put myself back up here so I can see it. I've been getting a couple of offers, but they're just too low yet. But this is in beautiful condition. It's the Dodger Stadium.
Cool.
Okay, and it must be on the older side because it's got Japan on the back. Ooh, I'm backwards, aren't I?
No, you're good.
Was it good? Does it look? Oh, just backwards to me. And I've gotten a few offers, but they're just a little bit low. And so I'm going to hang on to that for a little bit. Oops.
Pitchers and catchers report in 5.5 weeks.
Yeah, I know. So, and I'm assuming it's the Brooklyn Dodgers, because if it was made in Japan, it would be the Brooklyn Dodgers, not, what are they now out there in California?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, thank you. Old metal trays are bringing some decent money these days, you guys. This is a Thanksgiving scene, and it's marked Hallmark down below with a number. I don't have a year, but I paid 75 cents for this, and I've got it up for 25 bucks. So look for, metal tin trays, the earlier ones. Watch out for the Coca-Cola trays on the reproductions. I was quite a collector of Coca-Cola trays back in the day, and the repros, that people are trying to pass them off as the real thing. And there's a huge difference between the originals and the reproductions. So just be careful when you are out there thrifting. And if you do see Coca-Cola trays, call me, text me. I'll be glad to help you because I know the real from the fake immediately on that. Okay?
So before it disappears, Shelly Robbins said, my dog loves your voice, Peg. She is licking my iPad screen. So there you go.
Well, tell her thank you very much. That's a first.
Yeah, that is a first.
That's cute. We went to a sale yesterday. There was a auction company that rented out a warehouse type room, and we went. The only thing I could find were these. Oops, backwards. Hello, Mercedes-Benz coffee.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I do well when you find mugs with the cars on them. I've done very well with these. Even the travel mugs that have the car names on them or boat names. I know mugs aren't the big sale that they used to be, but they still do sell. And I paid 50 cents a piece for these, you guys. So getting back to that. So if I can turn this into a $15 to $25 mug, I'm happy. Even a $10 mug. I mean, if I'm only paying 50 cents for something, I know most people don't like to go under $10, but to me, that's still a decent return. Let's see. Went to Savers because the Savers in our area, and I don't think yours didn't do this, right, Jason? Just our area?
Yeah.
Last Saturday, the Savers in our area were everything in the store was 50% off. They had a grand reopening sale of one of the Savers in our areas, but they honored the 50% off sale in all 3 of the locations. So we hit one, and this was, I think this is kind of cute. This is a pepper teapot, and it's made by, and this is the other side of it. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
This is made by Department 56, Jay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which I was quite surprised at, and we paid a whopping $3 for this.
The shallot as a handle.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And of course, the little lid come off. Let's see. Dad's already done some research. Let me see what he found. Let me see what he's got for me.
Like Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. We paid $1.50 for it, and he wants me to list this for $31.
There you go.
Okay, so there's that on the teapot.
It's very interesting because usually you would think they would make it as a whole pepper, not cut in half with a seed. That's pretty neat.
Right. And as he was doing his research, we saw a tomato that was cut in half, and there's also a cantaloupe, not cut, but full cantaloupe. So there are some really cheap, different ones out there when you're searching. Dad, he likes his baseball bats. Oh yeah. Well, he paid $2 a piece for these. Hold on one second. Oh dear. Okay, on the aluminum bats, I'm going to be selling the one for $32 and the other one for $70. Louisville, one of the Louisvilles here. They're both Louisvilles, yeah. Let's see, I'm not sure which one is which. Scandinavian. Oh boy. So Dad did the research. Oh yeah. All right. This is the expensive one that he wants me to sell. Let me turn it for $70. I guess when they're new.
I'm glad you found baseball bats because I was about to give you a tip on your baseball bat listing because you already have one listed. So this is for everybody too. If you're selling something very long and skinny like a baseball bat,
yeah. What do you think?
That's not
okay.
There we go. Let's do a pencil. Your first picture is not like this, nor is it like this because that fills up nothing. Your first picture is like this.
On the angle.
Fill up corner to corner.
Okay.
Yep. And then do within it, do your normal shots. Come down the barrel, come straight down the barrel like that. Okay. But anything long like this across because it'll fill up the square better. Because when people are looking on their phones, this little skinny thing in the middle doesn't make you stop. This does, or even the close up of the barrel kind of on a little bit of an angle like that.
Right. Very cool. Thanks. All right. So, like I said, we got a $4 investment here. He wants me to put one up for $32 and the other one up for $70. So I'll keep you posted if we make any sales on those. We also got another set. Oops, let me take this out. Sorry. Some hot rollers. I know people have done it, but they still sell, you guys. And we paid $2.50 for this, and we're going to put it up for $20. So be on the lookout for those. They still sell.
Now, do all hot rollers have the clips in them?
Yeah. Make sure. Not all of them do. So make sure you have your clips.
What I mean is, does any set of hot rollers, they're all going to have clips when they're new, right?
They should.
Okay, just making sure. I don't know much about hot rollers. Plus, I married a natural curly girl, so I don't know much about them.
Right. Okay, let's get to. Where did they see my Lux bars? All right, so we went to this sale on Friday, Saturday, whatever day. We went to this house sale that they said won't refuse any price. We'll take anything. So we get to the house, and of course, it's just upside down, filthy, you know, junk and crap everywhere. But they had a lot of old stuff, and everything in the house was old. So she says, make a pile and then give me an offer on the price. Oh, so okay. So Dad and I started scrummaging through, and I did find these old Lux bars of soap. And there was 5 bars in each deal here, guys. And these sell really well. As I did my research on these, I mean, they're getting $25 and $30 for these suckers. And
do they not make it anymore?
Not like this.
All right.
Not like this. Okay. So that was one thing. I have to kind of group these things. Does anybody remember this besides your mother?
I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, it's shoe polish. And I can remember using this kind of shoe polish on my shoes back in the day, especially my white tennies. We used to take out the. I can't get the bottle open. It is dry, you know, from age, I'm sure. But when you pulled out the top, there's a round little head on it that you would take it and then polish your shoes. But it's still the original box, and you know, I might get a couple of bucks on it. So I can't.
You never know when a TV show or movie's gonna buy it for a prop in the background.
That's true. That's true. So I got that. Then you might remember these. You remember these? Salt and pepper shakers at all? They're not. You don't, huh? Okay. All right. Well, these they sell, and I used to have them. And I remember tossing them out in the day, and so I came across them at this house sale. They're stamped St. Labret Indian School, and I paid 10 cents for these, and they're going to sell for around 15 bucks.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. All right. Now, oh, this was another one. We found a small one, and it does work, and it's in great shape. The shell lamps that we've talked about
cool.
so many times, you guys. And this is a cute, small, little one. And of course, you can really tell.
Hold on, let's plug it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can. Wait a minute. Hold on here. Hold on here. I do have a plug right at my.
And that salt and pepper shaker, they were plastic, yes, Mom?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Come on here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I know it glares more here. So if I tilt it.
Cool. Yeah.
Isn't that a cute one? I know. And this was in the group pile of stuff. So when I tell you how much I paid for everything, you know, we'll go from there. Okay, now, okay, what I'm going to do next.
And Peggy has left the building. Oh, she's back.
Yeah, I spent quite some time in this one room as Dad was going through the rest of the stuff because I came into bags and bags and bags full of yarn. Is Nadine here, Jace, or not?
Yeah, she is.
Yes. Nay, I need some help. I'm going to turn my computer, Jace. Can you see all this yarn?
Holy cow.
Now, this is only part of it. By the time I left, I had 3 full big gallon, 13 gallon, however big those bags, black bags are, of yarn. Nay, my question is, when you and I get together, I'm assuming I group them together by the colors, you know, that they are. Because I have a bunch of different ones, like I have, you know, 8 of this kind, you know, so I separated them all out. I counted how many skeins or skeins, however you want to say it, I had when I got home, and I had 102 skeins. Skeins, which way do you like it? And so I had 102 of those, plus this was in there, and I don't know if these sell or if I should attempt it, but there's also the case of the knitting needles. So some are plastic.
Sword fights.
So yeah. So I don't know. You know, I'm not sure about those, but I do know that the yarn is old. There's some of them here that are marked. Some came from Cressy's dime store, and some came from Zayre's. Does anybody remember the name Zayre's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's also a store named Ames. So I've got all of this yarn that, you know, I bought it because of Nadine, so I hope she will help me. So, and then one more thing, Nay, I'm going to need help with. I found this piece of fabric, and it is huge. It's quite big. It's a kind of a quilted fabric, and you know, it's just big. I'm going to have to measure it out to see what kind of stuff we've got there. So
hold it up, hold it steady and closer to the camera. I want to see the pattern.
yeah, it's a. Is that better?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and everything else. So all of the yarn, all of the soap, the little lamp. What else did I say? Oh, and this. Speaking of which, okay, all of that for $10.
Nice.
I know. I made her
How many skeins of yarn?
102.
102.
Yep.
14 bars of soap.
Yep.
The fabric, the hat.
So and I've got more haul, but I'm going to save that for next week.
Show Nay missed it for a second. Show your camera down to the yarn again.
Okay, this is just part of it.
And what is it? Is it acrylic? Is it natural
let's see
fibers?
here. Oh, wait, let me show you this one here, because this is kind of different. Oh boy. I have
oh my gosh.
This one says I know you guys. I'm this is called knitting worsted type yarn. DuPont Orlan, 100% DuPont Orlan in this bag. And these here, Nay, are rug yarns. 1, 2, 3, 5 of those. Okay, so those are the rug yarns there. All right. Let me see. This one says it's a 100% acrylic on this white. I tried to group everything, together by color. I'm assuming that's how I should do it, correct?
Mary said that's an Afghan pack.
Wait, which one is?
I don't know. You showed a bunch of stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Which color, maybe?
And then Honey Sweet Busy Bee said you must have run to the car screaming, start the car.
Let's see. This one, there was 2 rolls of the red. Let's see what this says here.
So how much was it before you cut them down to 10?
Well, when I first made it, my dad had picked out a bunch of stuff, and he had a pile going, and I had the great 3 big, huge bags of yarn. And I said, would you take $5 for all the yarn? And she said, yes. She would have taken anything. She just wanted to clean out the house. She had a ton of 8-track. She had all kinds of recording type machinery. I mean, some man had been there twice, the day before and then the day we got there. If Dad and I had gone back in, I'm sure we probably could have dug through it some more. But when you start to get in a place that's musty too long, it started to get in my throat and up my nose. And I said, I don't think I can stay in here much longer, because I was starting to, get the results of all of the digging. So yeah, she was just giving things away, really. And it's too bad that I didn't go back for more. But once I had the yarn, I was ecstatic. I was so excited.
Said the big bag, the DuPont is Afghan pack, the blue. And then,
the blue.
Then they said group by similar, and then fiber, not necessarily color. The acrylics will need to be lotted.
You mean by the lot number that I see on here?
Rug yarn together, yes.
Rug yarn together, yes. Okay, and like something like these here. Let's see, these are.
Actually, I think you should knit me a sweater.
Yeah, right. I used to knit though. I used to knit booties.
Well, bust it out. You got all the little sticks.
yeah, I could do it. Yeah, so basically by group, well, tell Nay I will talk with her just to get, take some more notes and all of that kind of thing. But
cool.
I wish you could see the bags that are on the other side of my desk, you guys. I'm just loaded with them, just loaded. So I hope I make some money.
Well, yeah, you hope. I think out of $10 bucks, I think you'll make just fine money.
Yeah, I mean, this is a first for us, so we're venturing out. And, so hopefully able to do well. And cool. I think that's all I'm going to show you for today.
All righty. Okay? Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in on this Sunday. Go Pack Go. They're losing 6 to zip right now. And Jordy Nelson's out because he got a helmet to the ribs. So that's not good. But I've already lost $50 on the Dolphins today, so let's hope my Packers do better.
Oh, not good. Well, one more time, happy birthday to the king.
Oh, there. I thought you called me the king.
Yeah, no, hardly.
Hardly. On that happy note, thanks a lot, Ma. All right. For selling past your expiration date, being thrifty over 50, I'm Jay.
I'm Peg.
And we're gone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.